The Chicago Bears do many, many, many things. They annoy. They aggravate. They irritate. They agitate. They frustrate. They tick me off. They accept being the mediocrity of the midway. They do so many things. The one thing that they never do, though, is fail to disappoint me in my expectations of the stupidity of the clown show at Hallis Hall. They never fail to disappoint me with this, especially when it comes to the quarterback position. It is one thing to chronically and consistently screw it up at the most important position in North American sports. It is yet another thing to then still consistently screw up the most important position in North American professional sports, where we still look back longingly at the days of Sid freaking Luckman and his best days with the T formation when the World War II freaking era! That's 70 plus damn years ago! And now you head into this offseason, and you got these clown-ass Bears fans. This is Ryan Pace's opportunity. One playoff appearance in 5 seasons apparently didn't tell you. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But he's going to figure it out. You got to give him a chance. You already gave him a chance. He's the one that signed Giraffneck in free agency, paid him $15+ million to start exactly 4 games, and then sit on the bench, as he then sat there and traded up from 3 to 2 for no damn reason, giving up multiple day 3 picks to jump into San Francisco's spot to take the worst of the 3 first-round quarterbacks available. So the guy that overpaid for Glennon, the guy who massively missed horribly on Mitchell Trubisky, is the same guy that so many of these clown Bears fans sat there and convinced themselves and tried to convince others foolishly, idiotically, that he deserved the right to get it right. He's had 2 chances, you a-hole, and he screwed it up royally both times. Why, oh why, would you give him a 3rd? This is like you've had a girl cheat on you several times, but you say, oh, I caught her, but this time it's it, and she promises. I give her the benefit of the doubt, even though she has earned 0 benefit of the doubt. Rebuilding my ass. He's had 5 years now. 1 playoff appearance. 1 playoff appearance. Screwed up with his first head coach hire. You can make whatever excuses you want. At the end of the day, he's the general manager. It's supposed to be his decision. He got it wrong. John Fax lasted 3 years. He effing sucked. And Ryan Pace effing sucks. And if you can't figure that out by now, I don't know what the hell to tell you. He missed on the first-round pick in 2015, as a lot of us did, myself included, with Kevin White. In 2016, we now know, since he just got released, didn't even make it to this 5th-year option, Leonard Floyd, he gone bye-bye. And his 2017 first-round pick is freaking Mitchell Trubisky. And we all know this song and dance and how it should go, unless you're a complete total moron! His 3 first-round picks, he has royally screwed them up. But it gets better. In this cornucopia of a resplendent, abundant off-season quarterback derby, where you've got Hall of Famers like Tom Brady available, potential Hall of Famers like Phillip Rivers available, former league MVP like Cam Newton available. You've got former first-round picks like Teddy Bridgewater available. For crying out loud, by comparison to what they did, you got Derek freaking Carr available. At least he's made a couple of Pro Bowls. Hey, you know, what the hell? All of these available options out there at what is clearly the most strikingly god-dang obvious need of this team. Not the only need, and if you think this is the only need, you are also a moron! But quarterback is by far the number 1 need of this team. Instead of getting one of the truly big fish, or perhaps even better, allowing Trubisky to fall flat on his face in 2020, so that way Everybody knows once for all, you got to move on from him. You got to fire Nagy because he sucks. You got to fire Pace because he sucks. And maybe more than once and for freaking all, Ted Phillips gets fired. He keeps hiring idiots to be general managers who hire idiots to be head coaches. And all the while, the stadium deal he got done sucks. That's his major claim to fame. All these years later. I don't know what the hell it is. Maybe he used to butt bang Virginia 25 years ago. I don't get it. The accountant is now the freaking team president, and what the hell has that got them? So they go out there today, and they make their decision, and they make their move at the quarterback position. Is it Brady? Is it Rivers? Is it Bridgewater? Is it Cam? Is it Jameis? Hey, at least the Bears are going to be 8-8. Let's have some damn fun with it, right? No. It's Nick Foles! Somebody IM'd it to me at work in the middle of a conference call today. Thank God I had it on mute. Because it wasn't pretty. The first word that came out of my mouth, ironically enough, began with an F and ended with UCK. What in the bluest of blue F's is this? The answer, the Messiah, the one that's going to save the day, is Nick freaking Foles. Are you serious? Now, surely you're going to have those clowns that are going to point to 2017 and how he led the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Well, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Or they'll go even further back into Chip Kelly time in 2013. And they'll say, well, he had that 28 touchdown, 2 interception season. Yeah, and how many damn seasons ago was that? Think about it like this. The Bears, a team with limited cap space, limited draft pick currency, basically bailed the Jaguars' asses out on Nick Foles' contract and gave up one of the few draft picks they had, their compensatory 4th-round pick, for the right to do so. Like, this isn't Bill O'Brien bad. No. What could be? But this is Ryan Pace bad, and that's not a whole lot better, people. So help me understand this. Please. Help me understand this. The Philadelphia Eagles, where Nick Foles helped lead them to a Super Bowl, got hot at the right time in the playoffs. 2018, Wentz goes down again. Foles eventually comes in, leads them to the playoffs. Even though he didn't play really well in that wild card game against the Bears, mind you, nonetheless. The Philadelphia Eagles, knowing this is their Super Bowl hero, their Super Bowl MVP, the guy that led them to their first Super Bowl championship in team history! Their first world championship since the freaking Chuck Bednarik, Norm Van Brocklin days of 1960! 1960! Way even before the freaking Veterans Stadium days. The Eagles had every reason to take it and play it safe and say, we know we invested a ton in Carson Wentz to trade up to get him. And we know it's a huge risk to let him go. But man, Nick Foles is the surefire thing. In the past couple of years, when he's been in there, we've had a couple of hot moments, even if it wasn't totally because of him. They could have kept him. They let him go. That should tell you something. Strike one. Strike two. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who intentionally, idiotically, overpaid for Nick Foles' services because they wanted to send a message that he was the man and he was not going to be questioned, he was not going to be challenged, and he had no threat of losing his job. That same organization took a look at him, and after one season where Nick Foles broke his collarbone in week 1, eventually came back and replaced Minshew Magic, and then ultimately stunk up the joint only to get benched for the rest of the season. The Jaguars, who intentionally overpaid him because they are idiots, after one season are looking to dump him. That is strike two. And then most importantly of all, because it is the quarterback position, strike three is Ryan Pace and the Chicago Bears had interest. You want to know how I know this deal won't work out? Because the Eagles had a chance to keep him. They didn't want him. The Jaguars, after being intentionally overly aggressive in paying him and putting themselves into that bad spot with that really bad dumb dick contract after 1 year, were desperate to get rid of him. And three, the Bears were desperate and dumb enough to take it on. Or they rework the contract. Oh, rework it my ass. You can use every defense mechanism and spinster logic that Bears fans are really good at, because what the hell is successful do you really have to talk about in recent years? You've only learned how to accept the mediocrity of the midway. You've only looked and figured out ways to look at things sunny side up. Oh, Trubisky's not that shitty. Oh, sure. The defense took a step back in 2019, but they'll magically recover and be better than ever in 2020, based off of absolutely no logic whatsoever. Well, because you signed Robert Quinn. Well, la-di frickin' da! You paid big money to a guy as an edge rusher. Sure, he's better than Leonard Floyd as an edge rusher. What the hell is that saying? And when he was at his best and he had his rebound season, he was playing in a 4-3. Now you bring him back into a situation where he's playing in a 3-4. Same team that's just gave top 10 tight end money in 2020 to frickin' Jimmy Graham! And you expect this deal to work? Based off of what? Imagination? Did Jack's Magic Beans crawl up your urethra and go into your prostate and give you that, ooh, it hit my G-spot feeling? The hell is wrong with you? And beyond all of that, not only did the Bears foolishly jump into the Nick Foles sweepstakes where they surely had nobody else to compete against, they took Nick Foles' contract off of the Jaguars' hands and didn't even get a draft pick in return for the right to do so. Ryan Pace, you idiot! If you're going to take that on, for a team especially that is up against the salary cap, for a team that is severely lacking in draft pick capital once again in 2020, you would think that part of the deal of taking on that Nick Foles contract is saying, we might give you a 4th round pick to balance it out, but you're either giving us a 2nd or 3rd in 2020, and you're doing the same thing again in 2021, or there's no deal. The Jaguars took back a 4th round pick for a guy a year ago that they overpaid for. That means they were desperate to get rid of him. And unfortunately, the Bears out-leveraged themselves to where they were competing against themselves because Ryan Pace is a moron! And instead of allowing the Jaguars' desperation to drive the price up, instead of allowing the Jaguars' desperation to give the Bears an advantageous situation, the Bears leveraged their own desperation against them damn selves, outbid the Jaguars in terms of desperation, and said, here, take this 4th round compensatory pick. We will take 100% of Nick Foles' contract off of your books because we'll figure out a way to rework it and it won't be so stupid. And worst of all with this, get it through your skulls. This is exactly the type of move that a GM and front office makes when they're not ready to give up on the guy that's clearly a bust. Problem is they trade for a Cam or somebody like that. They sign a Jameis. They sign a Phillip Rivers. They sign a Brady. You got to start him. You trade for Nick Foles. You don't have to start him necessarily. Dan Orlovsky on Twitter talking about this is the perfect move because Foles works well in his mentor thing. That's the whole problem with the damn mindset and mentality. You don't bring in somebody at quarterback to help Mitchell Trubisky. You bring in somebody at quarterback to replace Mitchell Trubisky. And this is exactly what I feared. Exactly what I thought was going to happen. When in doubt with the Chicago Bears, expect the worst. Because it's always going to be that way. Instead of finding a real replacement, they found a guy they could pretend to have a camp battle with, and then ultimately they're still going to want to start Trubisky week one, but at least they can say they tried. Give me a freaking break!